Hi, how are you all? So today we're talking about Candace Owens. And Candace Owens is a person that is super outspoken about what she feels will be needed to improve the lives in Black America. And today we're not talking politics because I'm not that political like that, but we're going to talk about her opinion on Black culture, where our opinions overlap when it comes to Black culture. Hi, my name is Dr.D-Nice, serving you pop culture seasoned with wellness and wisdom. If you're not already, you must, absolutely must, follow me on Instagram. I have health tips, I have wellness tips. I am your body and mind doc after all, and I have all the information you need to get your body tight and your mind right. Trust me on this one. If you're not following me on Instagram, you must. It's Dr.D-Nice, Dr.D-Nice, Beaugelin, Beaugelin. It's also in the comment section. Anyway, let's get on with Candace Owens. Candace Owens, and I'm going to read it verbatim. This is from how she describes herself from the cover of her book. Political commentator and host of The Candace Owens Show. She is the founder of the National Blexit movement and tours the country delivering speeches to capacity crowds. Originally from Stamford, Connecticut, she now lives in Washington, D.C. Those are the exact words from the cover of her book, how she describes herself. Also, she is out there living her best Meghan Markle life. What do you mean by that, Dr. D-Nice? Well, she is married to an Englishman. Yes, she went over to England for some political event, I'm sure, and met her husband. Right there, he saw her and was like, that's my woman, and they ended up marrying. They had a pretty short courtship. I can't quote you the number, but it's pretty short. Anyway, her husband is actually, his family and himself, actually, his dad especially, is very involved in British politics. And he himself is too. Anyway, so she's got a British kind of, be an aristocrat? I don't know. I don't really know how their social structure works like that. But he is a well-to-do young man in England, and he fell in love with her, and she has him. And she is now pregnant, I believe like 8 months pregnant with their first child. Anyhow, she's living her Meghan Markle life. And on top of that, she is super outspoken about what she feels will be better for Black America. And unfortunately, or fortunately, her opinion differs from a lot of, I don't know, I won't even say that. She just has an opinion that you don't hear a lot from Black people, because she leans more Republican. Actually, not leans more. She is Republican, and she has very Republican values. But like I said, we are not going to get into that. What we're going to get into is her book. She actually just recently published a book called Blackout. And in her book, she has several chapters, and it's actually on the New York Times bestseller list. Pretty sure it is. Anyway, in her book, she has a chapter entitled On Black Culture. That's what we're going to talk about today. Black culture. Her opinion on Black culture, and actually how some of our thoughts overlap quite a bit. She brings out in that chapter, and actually she starts a lot talking about one of the most popular songs that were out there at the writing of the book, Megan Thee Stallion and Beyonce's book, remix of Savage. And she of course quotes the words and realized that, hey, is that who we are now as Black people? Is this what Savage, Ratchet, that's who we want to be? And there's another quote that chapter begins with, this time a quote from Confucius, which I will read. And it says, if one should desire, Confucius said, if one should desire to know whether a kingdom is well governed, its morals are good or bad, the quality of its music will furnish the answer. Confucius was not French, but I gave him a French accent, didn't I? That's the best I can do. My husband's French, and I think I could do a French accent more than what Confucius would have done. I'm sorry, that's the best I could do. Anyway, do you agree with that? Look into the music and you will see exactly what the morals of a culture is. And then Candace went on to also add that this is her summary of it, saying, touche, Confucius, this is true, because our culture today is much about achieving a status of coolness through the slow decay of morality, less clothing, more profanity, less education. We are fundamentally anti-establishment and anti-conformity. An artist could be hard-pressed to land a #1 track singing about family and love. Those days of Black America are long gone. So basically she's saying our music is trash. Is that the right word? Vulgar, that's a word. And how it is instrumental or part of the reason why our culture doesn't really stand heavily on morality these days. What do you all think? Listen, I am from the 80s. Y'all know I'm not a young woman. I don't proclaim to be a young woman. But in the 80s, when I was there, when Two Live Crew came out, I was actually living in Miami, Uncle Luke and them, when there was this whole thing about going to the Supreme Court, about the right to sing about whatever they want to. And this type of music became super popular, super sexually explicit songs. Yeah, they were around before, but they weren't as mainstream and out there like it was now. And actually even NWA from the other side of the country in California, Ice Cube and them were talking about a lot of violence. And honestly, were there songs that talked about violence before? Yes, but not to this degree. And this is around the time where they began to put parents' advisory stickers on records so you could know which songs. I know y'all download your stuff these days, but I'm letting y'all know, when you used to go to the store and get your stuff, it used to have these advisory, you've seen them still though, it's been recently. They have these advisory stickers telling you that, this has some stuff in there that may not be too great for the ears. Just know it's in there. And then you could even actually go to Walmart and get the PG version of all your popular artists, NWA, whoever you wanted to. You can go and get the PG version. So that is the kind of environment where began to notice the switch in our music. It wasn't an immediate turn, but there definitely was a turn where our music, as our black culture, our music began to really popularly or more commonly have more violence in it, more sexually explicit lyrics, and this was popular. Did it really change what our society looked like? Well, quite honestly, I don't know if you can, I haven't done the research to see if you can extrapolate or, correlation does not mean causation, but there definitely has been a correlation with increased violence in our community, increased teen pregnancy, we're winning at all the wrong things. And why can't our music say nicer things? What is the problem? Why can't our music just be kinder, gentler? Like back in the day, my girl, talking about those kind of songs. Why can't our music say those things? Why can't our music talk about love in a loving way? Why can't our music talk about sitting by the dock of the bay? I know that wasn't written by a black person, but simple, nice, beautiful, warm things that don't have you want to go out there and pop somebody in the head. Why can't our music reflect some of those other things about life on this planet, our life as a black person, or other cultural aspects of our day-to-day life. Anyway, there's some people that will argue, you know what? Music doesn't affect us like that. It's no big deal. They're just singing about it. It's not that big deal. But listen, you know the science of music. Music affects every single part of our brain, down to our very immune system. Music can affect. Music, it activates our frontal lobe. That's the pure area of your brain that tries to coordinate action with consequence, which, by the way, doesn't fully develop till you're about age 25. It activates the limbic system. That's the area involved in learning and emotion. It activates the reward centers, the dopamine, where you get excited when you hear certain things. Music affects us. So whoever wants to put out that argument that it's just music, I'm just listening to it, it doesn't affect me, it affects you. That stuff enters your subconscious and you cannot unhear it. Your brain has to process this information and figure out what to do with it. And sometimes it comes out later in an unconscious manner when you're faced with a choice. When you're faced with what kind of girl you want to date, you're like, big booty girl, big booty girl. I'm sorry, I couldn't help it. But you understand what I'm saying. It affects you subconsciously when you want to go out and figure out what car to buy. Oh, what do they talk about in the Bentley and the Beamers? And, you know, it affects you. We know it does. So don't act like it doesn't affect you. And the solution for me would be just to have some sort of like a middle music. And honestly, if you, as a musical artist, you're a musical artist, if you're listening, if you want to still go out and sing about your big good hoes, sorry, no, I can't say that word. If you want to sing about those things, and if you want to sing about your cars and your jewelry and your violin shooting people up, do that if that is your thing. It's not my thing, but do that. But at least offer us something else. Offer us a different perspective to your life, because that's not what you do all day. That's making us look like you're just one-dimensional. Offer us something else. Give us another insight into your life. Get middle music somewhere in there, giving us something else. Like, I've given this example a few videos before, how growing up in Jamaica, you may have an artist, serious dancehall, singing about all the kind of things he was going to do to that woman that night. And then he turns around and out there singing the most conscious lyrics about how, you know, their relationship with the Lord and all these things. And we accepted that from that same very artist because we realized that people are multidimensional. I would propose the baby. Come on out and sing a song about the other aspects of your life. Who are the other ones? Roddy Ricch, Cardi B, Megan Thee Stallion. Sing about something else. Have options. Give us some options out there, and not just options that are put and buried deep in Spotify, buried deep in the back of your CD or your record or however you're doing it now. That's actually played on the radio so we can hear different options, because I know Dr.D-Nice, nobody don't listen to the radio. Listen. People listen to the radio, and the radio actually is a reflection of what is popping. The radio tells us what's going on, and whenever they're playing things on the radio, that's what's on and popping. It is. What I'm saying is they need to give us some more options. Artists, listen to me. Give us some more options. Broaden your subject matter. There's more to life than sex and violence, who you slept with, what kind of drugs you did. There's more to life than that. Give us some more. Broaden the subject matter. If you need some subjects, let me know. I have a whole host of them. It's called Fount, How to Live Life with Wellness and Wisdom. DM me on Instagram. Leave a comment section. I can give you some ideas of what other subjects you could sing about. Anyway, that was Dr.D-Nice on culture, using Candace Owens' book as a springboard to talk about my opinion on the current state of our music and how I feel that it needs to be improved. We're going to talk more about that because that is my pet subject. that is. Anyway, guys, remember, I got you. Peace and love. Can't forget love. All right, see you next time. Bye-bye.